Lots of women just send you emojis or silly comments, but then there's some women that actually take the time to write a beautiful comment. Those are the girls who I usually reply to. And if they're in Sydney, we might go on a date as well.
Today's guest is a global fitness champion, media personality, model, writer, wellness and biohacking coach, speaker, and has recently just come off season 10 of The Bachelor. My friend, Mr. Thomas Malucelli. Is there anything you regret from the show?
Yes, I regret my decision.
So you wanted to pick somebody else?
No, I don't regret anything because, again, that decision was meant to help me grow. But if I could go back, I would probably...
How much of the show is actually real and how much is fake?
That's a great question. I would say that...
If you were to go back to your 18-year-old self and give him 30 seconds of advice, what would it be?
It would be...
Alrighty guys, today's guest is a global fitness champion, media personality, model, writer, wellness and biohacking coach, speaker, and has recently just come off season 10 of The Bachelor. From being a burnt out restaurant manager who is living for the weekend, spending most of his money on partying to find any sense of meaning and connection, completely turning his life around in 2017 when he started taking his future and his health more seriously. He committed to the biggest transformation of his life where he won a global fitness competition, taking away almost 100,000 Australian dollars. From one manifestation to the next, he has really created his dream life that is now opening up so many doors for him. So please help me welcome the guy who went from working as a waiter for his family's Italian restaurant in Tuscany to now a TV sensation and model that has appeared on The Morning Show, The Project, Channel 10, my friend, Mr. Thomas Malucelli.
Woohoo! Thank you for having me. What an introduction. I feel so honored to be here.
Mate, I'm really excited to chat to you. Like, obviously, we've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
And, I've seen you crush it in multiple things. And then I see you go out and you do your own thing and you do The Bachelor and all this stuff. And I was like, I think I caught it straight away. I was like, as soon as you're out of there, I want to bring on the pod just to chat to you and dive into all of this for a couple of reasons. One, because what people see on television is nothing close to what actually goes on. So I really want to dive into all the juice and the real drama in there. And to make it on a TV show to begin with is a massive success in itself. And I think I said to you, I was like, dude, you've killed it not only like in business, you've killed it in, you won the global fitness competition out of, tens and tens and tens of thousands of people. And now there's got to be some sort of track here, because this is a pattern I'm starting to see of success, and I want to sort of dive into all that.
Love it. There is definitely a pattern. I feel like I was very lucky and fortunate. Like when I grew up, I had a mum who was very into personal development. She would feed me book from Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn, and she would, often go to America for personal development events. And so from a very young age, like her motto, which I think was Henry Ford's, was whether you believe it or not, you're absolutely right. And so for me, believing in myself was something that was encouraged to do at a very young age. And I've always acted upon that belief. And so when it comes to the fitness competition, when it comes to the TV show, I had this idea of like, okay, I can really do things big here. How can I become that person that achieves that? And from that question that I asked myself, I then always act upon it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what do you think has been the biggest driving force behind this success?
I always love pushing myself out of my comfort zone, like being in a position where I'm around people who I possibly don't know, where I'm not comfortable, and I have to adapt to then be great at something. And so, for example, initially my motivation was to become the best version of myself, because I knew that deep inside I had like so much to give to the world. But I couldn't have achieved it until I would have been connected in terms of like mind, body, and spirit. And so the first initiation for that for me was getting my body right, getting my mindset right. And then the idea of becoming the best version of myself is something that now still really pulls me towards achieving it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I know you're really big on manifesting. So Talk to us about the importance of visualization and manifesting. Like, how have you manifested these things you've created in the life you have?
I'll tell you a funny story. So then I'll get into manifesting. But like the Bachelor, I think it was the second lockdown, and I was working really hard on my online business, and I was just like hustling, and I wasn't watching TV, I wasn't watching any movies or anything. And then there was this one day at lunchtime where I said to myself, okay, I'm just gonna put Netflix on and see what's on to entertain myself. And I put Netflix on, and what comes on is this other reality TV show called Too Hot to Handle. And so I put it on, and I see these hot guys and hot girls, and they were like living the best life, and I was like, damn. They're looking good. They're about to find love. I'm inspired. I think I would like to go on a TV show myself. And so that's when I planted this seed in my brain. And then it really inspired me to work hard on my body a little bit more. And every morning I was visualizing myself going on a TV show. And I was feeling the sense of euphoria and fulfillment in having connections. And also I could visualize myself stepping out of my comfort zone, being around cameras and microphones and all that kind of stuff. And I kid you not, after 2 weeks, I opened my Instagram and I had this message from this girl called Daisy Casting. And she's like, hey, Thomas, I've just seen your profile and we're looking for hot and single guys for a TV show. Are you interested? And I thought it was going to be like a scam. And I was like, look, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. Let's do it. What's the next step? She's like, okay, interview today at 3 p.m. Are you available? I'm like, yes. And from then onwards, in the space of 1 month and a half, I was in The Bachelor as one of the main leads.
Wild. So that's how they source their guests. They're just stalking people on Instagram, looking for people.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think. I'm offended. What's her name?
Daisy.
The fuck, Daisy? Never slid into my fucking DMs. Maybe because she saw I have a girlfriend. I'll take that story then. I'll take that story.
For sure.
Fucking Daisy. All right. So back to manifesting before we dive into the show. Do you have a process around it? Like, do you have like an act? Do you have a thing, a ritual, like where you're like, this is what I do to manifest things?
Yes, I do. So first and foremost, I have to really understand what it is that I want. And for many, many years, I wanted lots of things, but I would never actually take the time to sit down with myself and embody that feeling and see it and really understand why I wanted said feeling. And so now my process is whenever I don't know if you feel like this too, but like there's seasons of our life when we just upgrade and we let go and we're taking the new best thing for us. And so when that happens, when I can feel that, I allow myself usually like 2 or 3 hours of complete silence where I'm in my bedroom, I go to the ocean or I rent an Airbnb and I just meditate, I journal, and I get really clear with what it is that I want to achieve. So essentially journaling, writing down my ideal day, writing down my ideal business, writing down why I want said things. And then after that, once I've gotten really clear with that process, for me, it's a matter of putting down some action steps on how I can make that a reality, and then visualization. So the biggest thing that has helped me is every single morning when I am meditating, I am also spending 5 to 10 minutes visualizing where I'm going. Because for me, the visualization is giving the GPS to my mind and to my body to where I want to go. And you can do that with everything, like, you know, with your body when you're working out, with your business, with your relationship, you know, anything. So definitely like getting really clear, writing down a vision, even a vision board. I know you're big on that too. And then action and visualization.
Yeah. The power of visualizing is so strong. The scientists actually did a study, and I'm sure you've probably heard of this. They got 3 groups of basketballers, and the first group, they said, okay, you guys got to do nothing today. You got to do no practice, sit on the bench. No, actually, just go home. Go home. No practice for you today. The second group, they said, you guys are going to sit over there blindfold, and all I want you to do is visualize yourself throwing perfect 3 throws all day, right, for this 8-hour period, whatever that was. And the third group, they took them on the court and they actually practiced physically throwing 3 throws. And what they noticed was they saw they tracked their improvements, right? First group improved nothing. So they did nothing. They went home. The third group, right, that actually did the practicing improved something like 67% or something like this, right? But the second group that just sat there and just visualized improved something like 45%.
It's amazing.
So like obviously not as high as the ones who actually did it, but the fact that you can sit there and just not do it and just visualize and see that significant improvements is crazy, because it literally starts to train our brain that becomes familiar with it, because we're nothing other than a result of what we believe and what we consistently think about every single day. If we consistently think about and feel that the results that we want to get, we have a much higher chance of actually getting them than if we don't. And I use this exact same thing when I skydive. I don't know if you've seen this, but I've got my skydive license now.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's like the next level shit.
Dude.
It's fun as. But I do this, right? And when I first started, so there's 5 stages of skydiving. First one, you need to exit the plane. Then you need to free fall. Then you need to pull the chute, right? And actually deploy. Then you need a parachute. And then you need to land. So when I was up there in the plane for the first couple jumps, when I'm freaking out and I'm like, my brain's fucking going crazy. And we're on the school with other people and everyone's freaking out. And I sat there and I was like, okay. Sat there in the plane, we're going up, and I'm just breathing. I'm calming my nervous system, But then I'm closing my eyes and I'm just visualizing the first step. That's it. I'm just visualizing the perfect exit. Because I was like, if I can just exit safely, I'll figure everything else out down there. And the guy taps me on the leg. He's like, hey, stop worrying about it. I said, do I look worried? He's like, stop thinking about what you got to do. He's like, just think about your exit from the plane from now. I said, that's what I've been doing. All right. And every single time, that's all I visualize, the exit, and I'm just so confident on it, where a lot of other people still get freaked out of clinging onto the door and exiting themselves.
Yeah.
But I jump and I'm like, okay, 1, 2, boom. And now I'm back flipping out of there and I'm flying and it's fucking amazing. But every single thing I do, even Dreamfest last year, I was standing on stage. There had a couple hundred people there. And as I walked out for the first time, I was like, I've seen this about 1,000 times in my mind already.
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's like, it's just very normal.
Yeah.
So do you, when we talk about the visualizing stuff, like I write stuff every morning. Well, I have a script I've written. I read it every single day. What is it you do?
This is where it gets woo-woo. So I have one of my favorite authors and spiritual mentors, who is now dead, unfortunately, is Wayne Dyer. And so he's the bomb. He's the bomb.com. When I woke up spiritually fully, I went through an interesting phase of my life, but I was just devouring his books and audiobooks. And so he does a meditation, which is an arm meditation that helps to open up all of your chakras and stuff, and it really helps with manifesting abundance. And so I do that meditation every morning. So if you're in my house, you literally think that there's a crazy person in the bedroom. But after that, I visualize. So I visualize my ideal day. I set my intention for the day, and then the night before, every night before I go to bed, I always put down my 3 top priorities for the next day. And so I really focus on getting those 3 done as soon as possible, eating the frog. And in terms of visualization, I am visualizing my ideal day, I'm visualizing my ideal relationship, and I'm visualizing the impact I want to have on this planet.
Yeah. Amongst the journey, right, of creating these visualizations and being like, I want to create this, did you still have moments of doubt and be like, I could never do that inner critic, or did you back yourself fully with certainly going on the TV show, winning the challenge?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never had that critic inside of me. If something feels good to me, then I'm doing it. I'm gonna fucking get into it and do it straight away and win at it. I love putting myself in a place where I always succeed if it feels good. So it has to feel good, and if it does, I'm all in. Of course, I'm scared. There were times where I think the times I've been most scared in my life was when I won the fitness competition, and all of a sudden, Thomas, next week you're going to be on a stage of 14,000 people doing a keynote speak and inspiring people. I'm like, what? 14,000 people? I shot my pants. But then again, like you did, before going on stage, I would visualize myself going on stage. I would visualize myself, giving value, and I'll visualize myself feeling really good and accomplished about it. And so when I did go on stage, I felt quite familiar with that presence.
Chris, the familiarity. All right, so let's talk about The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Juicy.
How's it been for you since getting off it? How's your life changed?
Life has okay, to be completely honest, life hasn't changed that much after The Bachelor. The Bachelor has allowed me to do more of the things that I was doing beforehand, and has given me more visibility on social media, and of course with working with brands and things. So when I used to live in Italy, I used to work as a model as a side hustle, and then I just stopped completely when I traveled, and I always loved that kind of lifestyle. And so from The Bachelor, I've been able to sign a really good contract with a modeling agency here in Sydney, and they're finding me some really good brand deals. And I've never experienced, I guess, earning quite a little bit of money, quite a lot of money for creating ads and contents for brands. I was like, is this even real? So this has been really cool. I guess the main thing has been visibility. So now for me, it's you've been given a platform, The Bachelor. This has given you more visibility, more viewers, more followers. What are you going to do with that now? What value are you going to give? And so this is what I am working on at the moment.
What about in terms of like, have you had people come and notice you in the streets and shit?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. People noticing, people.
Is it weird?
It was at the beginning. Now I'm kind of used to, like, you're walking around and you just see people looking at you, and then they like keep looking at you, and I'm like, yeah.
Is it you, a billboard?
Fuck? I've seen you before. Well, you're the Bachelor guy. And I'm like, yep, I'm the Bachelor guy. My name is Thomas. Not just the Bachelor guy.
So did you have other expectations for what life was gonna be like after?
Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't know why I say that. I'm always honest. But anyway, so when I was chosen to go on The Bachelor, the first thing I thought was like, fucking great. I'm going to be out of my comfort zone, winning. That was priority. I'm also going to get some visibility from my business. Amazing. And I'm also going to find a soulmate potentially. And so I was really excited because I came off like 2 years of healing, and I was really looking forward to finding a girlfriend, a partner. And so my expectation was to finish The Bachelor and be with a girl, be with a partner in crime or soulmate.
So you did go in there actually being like, I do want a partner.
Yeah. Yes, I was expecting to come out of the house and experience with a girlfriend, with a partner, and then I was envisioning this fairy tale ending, but also of the show, but fairy tale beginning of this beautiful lifestyle. What I didn't realize was that when you're actually on the show, you're in a show. You're in a bubble. There's cameras around you. There's mic. You're always mic'd up. And so you're never really going to feel or notice the true essence of a person until you come out of the show. And I was almost second-guessing myself. Like, I had hypnotized myself so bad that I actually thought that the girls on the show, one of them was going to be my partner. And so I was like, she's the one, she's the one, she's the one. And so when I actually got to choose the person who I felt probably the most aligned with, I very quickly realized that when we met for the first time out of the show with no mics and no cameras, we were so not compatible. And so I learned a few lessons on the show. One of them was that red flags are a thing. So if you think that what a person is not aligning with you in terms of values, first and foremost, or other things, you should definitely like take action on that and trust your gut.
What were the red flags?
Red flags were this particular girl hadn't done the work on herself. I could tell that she was lacking self-love. She was very insecure and had lots of mostly insecurities, yeah. And I'm someone who, I'm confident. I'm a go person, and I need to be with somebody who matches my energy all the time. Not to say that I can't be with an insecure person, but I could tell that was going to be a problem in the long run because I've done the work and I'm still doing the work. Then the work never ends. And then obviously once I got to make that decision and went against what my gut told me, it kind of hit me in the face all at once. And I realized,
so your gut was saying that this was not the person?
Yeah.
Who should have been the person?
I didn't really have a person on the show. That's the thing. There was, I think I made the best choice with what I had on the show.
It's slim pickings, eh?
Yeah, but my person was not on that show, and that's okay.
What's the relationship like with her now? Like, I do want to get into that, but meaning, so you pick her, right? That's how the show works. Yeah. The guy picks the girl. What if the girl doesn't want that guy? Like, did you ever have conversations about that? Was she like, yes, I did. I'm glad we picked that. Have you had that level of open conversation with each other? Or?
Yeah. You mean if the girl didn't like me?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
was she hoping that to get you, or did she want somebody else, or?
Yeah, so what happens is you are given we had 3 guys and 30 girls, so you're given 10 girls each, and then throughout the show, which is 2 months of filming, if you don't vibe with a girl or vice versa, you can change group of girls. However, we did form like a really cool relationship during the show.
Oh, okay. So you're with all the 10 girls. Okay. Okay. I'm going to sound like an idiot for any people who are watching. It's like, oh my God, I don't watch TV anymore. I think I watched about half an episode because I was like, I don't want to see my boy. Okay, that makes sense. Makes total sense. So what's the relationship like with her post the show? What's up, Dream Nation? Have you ever wondered how far ahead your life would have already been if you had got access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm trying to build the #1 personal development platform out there to teach you guys the tips, tricks, and attitude of what it takes to live your dream life and to bring the type of education that we all wish we had in school. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you could smash that subscribe button right now, leave us a 5-star written review, or drop a comment below and share this episode with a friend. I would be forever grateful. All right. What's the relationship like with her post the show?
Yeah, so what happens is you are given we had 3 guys and 30 girls, so you're given 10 girls each, and then throughout the show, which is 2 months of filming, if you don't vibe with a girl or vice versa, you can change group of girls. However, we did form like a really cool relationship during the show.
Oh, okay. So you're with all the 10 girls.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sound like an idiot for any people who are watching. It's like, oh my God, I don't watch TV anymore. I watched about half an episode because I was like, I don't want to see my boy. Okay, that makes sense. Makes total sense. So what's the relationship like with her post the show?
Post show, we had some conversations and we realized that we weren't aligned, we weren't compatible in a few things, and so I think that a part of loving someone is also saying I love you so much that I don't think that we are aligned together. Like, you should find that one person that loves you to bits. I can't be that person, and I also want to find that person for myself. And so let's just part ways amicably with love and still be friends. So that was what we decided to do, and then things change because obviously people sometimes seek attention, and so they might go and talk to media. They might go and talk to podcasts, and this happened with this particular person, and I'm just sorry that she feels hurt, and I'm just wishing her lots of healing and love.
Well, is she tried to, like, I haven't seen the drama, but is she trying to sort of like bring your image down, or is it more like voicing her side? Or
I think she's just trying to voice her side, and she feels really, really hurt, maybe from the rejection as well.
So are you saying that it was just like a one-sided thing where you were like, you don't see each other progressing, or is she also, did she not see the fit, or did she really want it and you didn't?
She really wanted it and
Right.
I didn't. And then when we decided to split up, obviously she could see from my end that I wasn't as involved as before. I was just really supporting her as a friend. And throughout this time, she still tried to come back to me, and I was just not wanting it because I just wasn't all in, and I don't want to be 50-50 in a relationship, especially after all the work that I've done. And it took a very long time to accept this, and to be honest, I don't think she never really accepted it until probably a few months ago. I had to stop contact. I had to stop replying to her messages. I stopped responding to her calls, and so she was just really hurt.
How does someone go about that conversation? Because this sounds like it's very similar to my last relationship, which you my ex, and we split because I was like, I love you so much that I know I can't be the guy you actually want.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to do a selfless thing here and actually choose the really hard path right now because I know it's not right.
Yeah.
And it sucked. And I think she still probably to this day kind of hates me for it. Which I looked at it going, this is a possibility. this might happen. She might fucking hate me forever. And if that's the case, for her to actually get what she truly deserves and wants, and for me to get what I truly deserve and want, I will take that. And it's such a hard fucking thing to do. And I think a lot of people don't face that, and they'd rather stay in a relationship or please the other person. For someone listening to this going, I know what, like, I'm in a relationship or I'm in a situationship, whatever the fuck they're in, and they know that it's not 100% suited, but they're afraid to hurt the other person. What's your advice to them?
I believe that like everybody comes into your life for a reason, and it could be, usually it's a reason, or let's call it a lesson. The blessing is to find that lesson. And so I think that when you're aware of this, and you know that somebody's coming into your life and it might feel unpleasant at the moment, then if you've done the work, you can realize, okay, I'd rather be the bad guy here telling you that I don't want to continue this relationship, because I understand that I came into your life to teach you this lesson. And my lesson, for example, I still believe that my lesson was to teach you self-love fully. And so I'm okay, like, hate me, talk shit about me on the media, but I'm just wishing you love, and I really fucking hope that you heal and you find the person that can fully love you after that.
Yeah, you'll have some girls in your DMs after this clip gets out.
We'll see. Or lots of hate, one of the two.
Has that happened since the show? Because obviously you left, right, with this woman. Have you had other women hitting you up in the DMs?
Yeah.
Trying to challenge?
It's very wild.
Interesting.
Thousands.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a hard life, man.
It's a hard life. Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it, eh? What, did you just not respond to them, or?
I see. That's the thing. Like,
isn't that hectic? Because they know you leave a show with a woman.
Yeah.
But they're still like, I'm a fucking have my crack. I love that. If you're one of them chicks and you got that hustle in you, hit me up. Come on the show.
Yeah.
I want to see why you're so resilient.
But that's the thing. Like, lots of women just send you, like, you know, emojis or, you know, silly comments. But then there's some women that actually take the time to write a beautiful comment, and then those are the girls who I usually reply to. And if they're in Sydney, we might go on a date as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. So how much of the show is actually real and how much is fake?
That's a great question. I would say that 80% is real and 20% is probably not so much fake, but Staged, yeah.
How so? That's bigger than what I thought. I thought it was going to be more staged. But how's 20% that staged? How is it staged?
Well, you know, obviously, if you think about it, and again, I don't watch TV either, but I happen to be on a TV show. But in Australia, I think the two biggest platforms, the most watched reality TV show is Maths, and the most listened to podcast and radio show is Kiss with Carl and Jackie O, and they are both very heavily drama orientated. So it's just drama. And so when I say that 20% is staged, is usually, you know, you going on a date and then the producer telling you, okay, I really want you to focus on this today. You know, focus on marriage or focus on kids, knowing that maybe that girl is against marriage or doesn't want to have kids, and so there's going to be some sort of conversation where you guys just don't gel, and then that's where the drama happens, and that's what's gonna get people to really watch it.
How much of it do they control? Like, if they say to you, like, hey, I want you to have this conversation, let's talk about marriage, and you're like, okay, you go in there and then she's like so against it, how much of your free will, like, are you meant to stick to that narrative of what you went in with, like, or you'd be like, actually no, I'm like, say does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or do you have to stick to the story that they've told you to say?
Well, I would say there's lots of girls that you're dating, right? And so you're bound to probably really like, say, 2 to 3 girls who you're interested in, the rest not so much. And so you can really focus on the drama with the girls that you don't like so much, because you know that if they leave, it doesn't really, you know, matter too much to you. So that's where they focus on. They focus on the initial girls who are going to leave, and that's where they're going to, like, really heavily drill some drama in. And then your girls are safe, if that makes sense.
Like, is it a conversation you're having with the producers backstage, and they consistently ask you, like, which ones are you into?
Mm-hmm.
So then they try to be Cupid.
Yes.
Right. Is like, I've heard, I had a friend who was on a TV show a long time ago, and he actually left it because how much they fuck with him. And they were staying in a house together, though. Where did you guys stay in a house, or how's it?
Yeah, so we were living in, you know, Q1.
Yeah.
The penthouse in a Q1
In Surfers.
in Surfers.
Really?
And the girls were in a mansion just on the canal.
Oh, so the guys in Q1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was really cool.
And so he was saying to me that they have literally like psychologists on set to know how to manipulate with you and get into your brains and create drama and stuff like that. Is it that deep?
No, in ours, we had a psychologist, three on set, and we had full access to them just in case we wanted to chat and vent, because obviously there was lots of anxiety, there was lots of people who weren't doing so well mentally, and so they just had to help you unpack and unwind a little bit.
What would cause one of them to not do well emotionally there?
Cameras and pressure. So just going into a set knowing that you have, 6 camera guys there, there's a microphone on you. And so lots of girls were literally freezing sometimes.
Right.
And it was interesting because us guys, we were filming every day pretty much. So we got really used to it. And so we could go into a conversation being completely ourselves. But some of the girls weren't on the set as long as us or as often as us. And so you could literally be having a conversation and you could see that the girl was not present. She was just in her head completely. Yeah, it's horrible.
Is there anything you regret from the show?
Yes, I regret my decision.
So you wanted to pick somebody else?
No. So I'm not gonna. I don't regret anything because again, that decision was meant to help me grow. But if I could go back, I would probably not choose anyone.
Is that an option?
Yeah, it's an option.
Did the other boys pick someone?
They all picked someone. Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be interesting. So you just not pick anybody. Do you think they would let it get that far?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't they want you to pick somebody?
Well, I guess they would, but again,
It'd bring in clicks.
but imagine the clicks. Yeah. They would keep it, suspense until the very end, and then the guy who they think is, because I was the more mature, the most romantic. He's like, what the fuck? He didn't pick anyone. What a dickhead! And then I'd probably be hated by the whole nation.
Yeah, he thinks it's too good for everybody. Why do you think you still picked someone then? Was it pressure, or did you legitimately believe at the time that she was? I
really believe that she was the one. Yeah, I had this like image in my head that I was gonna walk out with my girl, and then I chose based on the fact that she was always there for me. She was just super sweet, and we had like a beautiful first blind date where she was just very vulnerable and very loving, and I hadn't felt that in a long time. However, I just didn't see the rest of it during the show, and that's okay. I mean, a part of dating is also finding out things later on and then making the best decision for you. And I think as well, if you can break up with someone on a TV show, you're also telling people in the real world, hey, it's okay. Like, if you're not compatible, go and find the one that's the most compatible for you.
Yeah, I love that because it is. I see so many people these days in relationships that they shouldn't be in, and they're probably in them for all the wrong reasons. Like, it's easier to stay in there than it is to leave, or they're in there for the kids, or have been together for so long. And they say for all the reasons instead of actually just choosing themselves.
Yes.
Or what's best for, like, what's just logically best for both of you.
Yes. So important.
It's a scary thing. What is something that didn't get aired that you think should have got aired?
Okay, so there was many things that didn't get aired, but funny moments. There was a moment where I was so in the conversation. I was having a conversation with Lauren in a bar. Lauren was my runner-up, beautiful soul. And all of a sudden, we're having drinks. I was on my second cocktail. I was a bit tipsy. We didn't drink much on the show. And so we just found ourselves talking about sexual pleasures and fantasies. And then all of a sudden, we're talking about masturbation. And I'm talking about how often I masturbate in a week. And then I thought to myself,
you're on camera.
What the fuck? Like, we're talking about masturbation on a camera on national TV. Let's change subject. And that would have been really funny if it was shown on TV.
It didn't get aired?
It didn't get aired, luckily.
I could be a dumb question as well because I haven't seen the show. Did you hook up with any of the girls?
Yeah, we made out with a few of them. Sex wasn't allowed, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah. So initially,
how long were you on the show for?
2 months. Yeah.
It's a bit rough, eh?
Yeah, it's a bit rough. Initially, they were meant to have sex fantasy suites, I think they called them. But then my friend Felix, he was making out with so many girls during the first week, and they got mad. And so a few girls left. And so then the producers are like, look, we better take sex off the cards, because if you guys obviously start fucking on the show, there's going to be emotions involved, and girls are going to start fighting, and then we're going to have no girls by the end of the show. So they took it out.
So Felix ruined it, hey?
Felix had a good time. He ruined it. Fucker, if you're hearing me.
Do you have a good relationship with the dudes?
Yeah, I love them.
Because you would have been with them a lot, hey?
Yeah.
What are they all doing now?
So Jed is he's a drummer. He's in UK at the moment, and then Felix is a TV presenter. So he works for Sports Bets and ESPN.
Yeah,
he's in Melbourne.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's your plans now? How are you gonna? You're saying before, like you've got this wicked audience now.
Yeah.
And the next thing is like that. What's your next thing?
Yeah.
Said you're writing a book. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, good question. So I used to be a very burnt out restaurant manager. I used to party heaps. I was always seeking connection and validation, usually through drugs. I would party every weekend, and I was very distracted in my late 20s, early 30s. And then when I went through my transformation, I understood how beautiful it was to feel connected and just feel in a natural way. So I went and explored lots of different ways of fueling my mind, body, and spirit. And once I found myself, I was like, holy shit, I wonder how many people out there are still doing what I used to do, are still, escaping their lives on the weekend, or still taking lots of drugs to feel alive, to connect. And so my mission in life is just to show the person who I used to be what it actually feels like to connect to your purpose, listen to your soul, and just go out there and crush it. And so I'm a big advocate of the mind, body, and spirit connection. I've just finished writing a book called Connected, which takes people on a journey on how to connect those three beautiful empires, habits, and of course I'm just big on biohacking now as well. So finding natural ways, usually practices to age backwards, live longer, and more fulfilled.
Yeah. With the book, are you self-publishing?
I am looking for a publisher at the moment, so my management is pitching to several publishers.
So you have a management team.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because of the show, or is this to do with like modeling and stuff?
It's to do with modeling and stuff.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're trying to help you use this for more exposure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other book, I'm gonna self-publish on Amazon.
Right. So you're writing two at the same time.
I finished writing one already.
That's connected.
Yeah. Now the editor has it, and she's just working on flow and making it sound a little bit more. I wouldn't say appealing, but it was my first time writing a book, and so I was very analytical with it, and so she's just creating a little bit more flow and fun to it. And I am about to finish writing a book on biohacking as well now.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I love it. And you're obviously you're a wealth of knowledge with your experience just on the TV show, your experience through health, your experience through mindset, spirituality, writing, all these sorts of things. If knowing everything you know now, if you were to go back before you started the entrepreneurial journey, the TV journey, the modeling, all these sorts of things, and give yourself advice, or what would it be? What's something you wish you knew back then that you know now?
Something I wish I knew back then was to really invest more time in growing myself. And also I would have loved to know back then, have more knowledge on finances, on investments, on how to grow my money essentially. Because I grew up in a family that my mom has always given me everything that I wanted, but has never really taught me anything about finances. And so I knew nothing. And it wasn't until I got into business and entrepreneurship that I started hanging out with people who knew a lot about that. And I was like, fuck, I knew nothing, and I wish I started earlier. Yeah, so definitely that.
What is it specifically about financing that you wish you knew earlier?
Learning how to invest, learning how to manage your budget, learning how to break down your income and then allocate certain percentages to your growth, to investing, to make it multiply essentially.
Yeah. What's your percentages you put there?
At the moment, I'm taking 30% out every single week. And
For investing?
For investing, yeah.
Wow, solid.
Yeah.
And like a stock market or
Stock
what do you-
market. Stock market. I dabbled in mostly it's all stock market now.
Yeah.
I dabbled in crypto
There's some Dogecoin.
with some Dogecoin
Yeah.
and a few other coins.
I wonder how my portfolio is going.
I invested in something called Karen coin and
Fuck off. There's a Karen coin.
We lost $2,000 just like that in 2 weeks, I think. But that's also part of
Did
the
you buy
lesson.
any JPEGs though?
No, no JPEGs.
Oh, well, not really a crypto investor there.
No, I'm not a crypto investor, not at all. Yeah. I had friends and I was like, where do I put my money on? Put it here, put it here, put it here. Okay, I listened to them.
Yeah, that's good. Listen to people that have a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, mate, this has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been epic to have you on.
Thank you.
Where can everybody find you? And for the single ladies that want to send you a longer DM that live in Sydney, where can they find you on on social media?
They can find me on Instagram for the most part. That's my main platform. Thomas Malucelli. Yeah, reach out, send me a DM. Let's hang out.
I love it. I love it. All right, mate, to wrap this up, I got a final question. Are you ready?
Yes.
If you were to go back to your 18-year-old self and give him 30 seconds of advice, what would it be?
My gosh. It would be believe in yourself, feel the fear, do it anyway.
Thank you so much for listening. And if you got value from this episode, it goes such a long way. If you can just take 20 seconds of your time, leave me a 5-star rating and written review, then screenshot this episode and share it to your story. And make sure you tag me for that shout out. And until next time, guys, go out there and dream out loud.